they kind of correlate with the spell workings that you would use. Also, dosage seems to matter. And I'm going to talk about that in the class, and I'm going to talk about that with cloves. So first thing about cloves is that it's a tropical plant, right? And it takes about 7 years to produce the flower that eventually becomes the dried clove. Now, fresh cloves can be used, but they don't last long. And they grow off the Syzygium tree in kind of tropical areas. But once they do produce, they produce in abundance. They produce in abundance. I mean, a lot. And so they have an association with abundance. And then they don't last long while they're fresh, but once they're dried, they have a very long shelf life. So they have a lot of stability. Now, historically, we know that cloves were part of a major global spice trade. So again, associated with abundance, market, and prosperity. Also, part of its magical association is you can use it in abundance spells and prosperity spells. We know that it's ruled by Jupiter, and that doesn't seem to be random because Jupiter is also associated with merchants and trade, right? Again, cloves had a long history with being traded by merchants. So they have a strong association with money drawing. They've been used in medicine and in a scent of prosperity, or as an incense for prosperity, since 200 BCE is the earliest record in the Chinese Empire. But also, people would use it, they would hold the cloves in their mouth to ensure that whenever they were talking to royalty or people of higher stature, their breath didn't stink, right? So it's been used for mouth cleaning for centuries. And also, magically, it's associated with communication. Not just baneful communication, because it is used to stop gossip, right? But it's also used to increase friendship and good communication. Again, this has to do with the dosage, and I'll get into that in a little bit. So we've known it's been used around the globe for a really long time. And medically, essentially what's provided through this tiny little bud, even dried, is certain compounds like eugenol, which is the primary, 70 to 90% of clove essential oil is the eugenol. And that is the primary antimicrobial, antibacterial agent that numbs the pain in your mouth, is anti-inflammatory and antifungal. So that is essentially why it's become such a potent medicinal herb, especially for oral health. Again, people use it for mouthwash. These compounds have been used in dentistry. So it also has a compound called beta-caryophyllene. And that particular compound can interact with our endocannabinoid system, which means that it can actually reduce anxiety and provide mental clarity. This is why it has association with that spiritual clarity. And yeah, because it will literally calm you and connect you. So these two compounds have really positive effects when used in safe doses at killing bacteria, boosting liver health, regulating blood sugar, healing stomach ulcers, cleaning the teeth, reducing pain, reducing inflammation, and reducing anxiety. And then, of course, having its association with abundance, being that it is an abundant herb. Once it starts producing, it produces in a great amount and was traded for centuries, providing a lot of wealth, and was a major traded herb. With all of those things combined, you can see the correlation with its magical properties. So blocking prosperity and abundance, of course, we have attracting wealth, communication, psychic work, and supporting divination, purification, cleaning, right? Again, that's that antibacterial property, restoring balance, rejuvenating, healing, removing of obstacles. But then once it gets to a certain dosage, it can become very toxic. So if we use it too much or ingest too much, it becomes essentially a baneful herb. And that's why you'll see it also used in warding, stopping gossip, providing boundaries, and in a lot of baneful magic, because it is toxic at a certain dose. So pure clove oil will cause skin burns, chemical burns, internal ingestion in excess can cause liver damage, all kinds of harm. So it is both a baneful herb and a prosperity manifesting herb. And a lot of it has to do with its actual medicinal properties. In the class, I teach the history like this. Over the herbs we're going to learn, I talk about the properties and how they interact with the body and how that's correlated to magical spellcrafting, or properties rather. And then we will actually use the herbs, smell them, interact with them, make oils, talk about proportions in extracting oils versus making spell oils. So it's going to be a really in-depth, heavy class. We are going to talk about scientific properties, the chemical properties. We're going to talk about magical properties. If that kind of stuff interests you, please go register. I'm excited to teach it to you guys. I'm excited to be with you guys on this. Let me know what you think. All right, bye.